Hey guys, how's it going? Mystic Eve here. I am on tour in the United States. As you can see, not at Coma, Center of Mystic Arts. Just to let you guys know, I have been doing a lot of work on my Patreon account. I just put in the first chapter of my novel, Sex Magic 007. I am going to be putting it in Patreon chapter by chapter. I am also putting in the guide to the solar party, which is how I read birth charts. If you're interested in that, just check out the links below. Thank you so much for watching. I am still feeling and thinking about the full moon that was in Scorpio with the lunar eclipse. I did a lot of yogic practices and breathing exercises. And as many of you feel how deeply emotionally transformative this full moon eclipse has been, very Scorpio. One of the things that I'm going through is being on tour. I used to book every single day, which I would mention numerous times that I would almost kill myself because I was just working so much. I would be so exhausted by the time I got back to Costa Rica. I just had to take 3 weeks to actually even recuperate. I would never have time to do the things with my friends that would pop up here last minute. So this trip has been one of the first that I've been here without really anything set in stone. And a lot of you might also be healing your relationship with work and money. You know, trying to keep my vibration high while I travel is very important now. So I knew that was happening. And that was a download during the full moon. You know, yeah, you could be working right now, but this is exactly what you need to be doing. And if you don't allow space for last minute downloads to be able to do what you're told to do, then you're just working. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. I thought about that a lot as I was doing my practices, thinking about the moon. We will be discussing with the moon. I'm going to just think the moon is in Sagittarius now, which is still a very forward focusing sign. But we've moved from water into fire. Definitely the feeling of the full moon is still with us. So we are going to start with the center, north, south, east, and west. And in the center we have 10 of Swords. This card, like, it's telling me it's wanting to, it's feeling like the death card at the moment, because 10, the pushing out into the completion of the swords, just like severing everything from the past, which would make a lot of sense, like letting go of all of the feelings and emotions that don't serve us anymore. Now, there's still that feeling in me of, you need to be working. You're not making any money. What if you don't make enough to, go back to Costa Rica and pay your bills, it's very quiet, though it's just a whisper, and I understand that I am still healing this. So I trust and I know it's still the beginning of the tour. So everything is going to work out exactly the way it's meant to. Doing things completely differently is this 10 with the mind and with the swords. The double-edged sword being forged. It's, it's having to work for the perfection of this 10. This card is also asking me to speak a little bit of my own internal healing with the emotional vibration that I have with betrayal and trust. Those trust issues and having been betrayed and things stolen from me for many, many lifetimes, I am just now understanding how deep this actually goes. So I need to trust. I need to trust that I am now entering into a new state of being. A lot of us feel this way. All of these downloads that we've been having, you hear this term, being turned on, being coded, all of a sudden you're like connected with this higher source. So let's see what's in the ether. What's in the air is my Queen of Hearts. She's always on my mind. This is the Empress. Oh God, guys, Jesus. This morning, because I wasn't tattooing and working, I was able to go riding with a good friend of mine through Midland, Georgia, which is my old stomping grounds. And this Empress was she was loving me. And she was telling me how grateful she was that I was there. And I could have been sitting in the chair tattooing somebody, but I was there. I was seeing the rainbows in the creeks and in the rivers, and I was riding this horse that was the sweetest thing ever. He was definitely a unicorn spirit. It's been really hard in Costa Rica seeing the rainforest being cut down for new houses and development. And I realize that I can't be an angry, pissy old woman screaming at everybody, telling them to all go away, which is very deep inside of me. But I understand that this Empress, she knows me. She sees me. We've always been in communication. She knows I love her, and even if she's dying, this planet, it's not the only planet. Earth is not the only Earth. But it's so hard to come to terms with what the population of humans are doing to this planet at the moment. And witnessing it, this is very much in the air, very much on my mind. So moving along, we have to have a ground, right? That gets really heavy. It just brings me to my knees. So what is grounding me is the 8 of Wands. This movement of passion, of fire. Oh gosh, the fire. This is interesting that the fire's at the bottom, the center is air, and the north in the ether is water. Fire is speaking of Mercury. Mercury is in retrograde at the moment and apparently wants to speak through this card because like the images came through with the 8 and the caduceus, right? With the flame up your spine, transcending into perfection. There's old Buddhist art of yogis in lotus with the fire staff going straight up and down their spines and coming out. That's coming to mind with this card. Mercury wants to speak, which is interesting because I've been wondering why the hell I'm even doing these videos. Like, I only have like 80 subscribers and, you know, hardly any likes or comments. And I'm like, who am I even talking to? This little camera? I've been racking my brain about why this YouTube channel hasn't gone anywhere and where is it going anyway? What the hell am I doing with this channel? And honestly, this Mercury is telling me it doesn't even matter if one person sees it and is able to raise their vibration and smile and laugh. That's all it's for. It's for you. You're the one watching it. Thank you so much. This movement of passion, I am putting everything into this and into my writings and into holding space at Center of Mystic Arts for sensitive coma kids to be able to understand why we're so sensitive and how we can function in this society and how we can not only function but purify ourselves so that we can be the best we can be, you know, not in the army, but, you know, I mean, esoteric army, maybe? The New World Order. The builders. The Illuminati. They don't, you know, my whole trip with the Illuminati, they don't call themselves the Illuminati anymore. That name has been taken over by black magicians and politicians. The Illuminati is not the Illuminati. The ones that you're looking for that are the magicians that were back even before the Illuminati became a word, the illuminated ones were the builders. They were the ones that were connecting and communicating with these beings from other worlds to help us build these temples. I realize that these are the guys that I'm in communication with because of Coma being the temple of the inner child and holding this space. I mean, not that it's an amazing temple. It's like, you know, I have that feeling of like, nailed it. Not. It's more like a cave temple, but the power is there for sure. The movement is there. The spirit is there. And the builders are there. And those of us who are illuminated, who are magicians, who want to speak with these builders are going to be the ones to rebuild when the society falls. So what's in the east coming up over the hill? It's the Jack of Wands. Yeah. The kid with the fire poi. Spinning fire. Screaming as you're coming up over the hill with passion. The passion of a teenager. Oh, geez. There's so much here. You know, the youth. The kids, the coma kids, these kids. The sensitive ones that feel everything but that don't know what to do with these feelings. We feel the planets. We can feel our environment. I mean, granted, I might not be able to go into a highly populated area and function properly because that sensory overload shit is real. But you put me in the woods and in the forest and I can feel the mosquitoes. Mosquitoes. I can definitely feel the mosquitoes. Why did I say the mosquito? Dragonflies, the butterflies, the fish, all of the animals, I feel them deeply. I feel the trees, I feel the water, I feel anima mundi, I feel the spirits. And those of you who are sensitive can too, which is why it's so important for us to stay focused and shield ourselves from this lunacy that the collective conscious is right now. We're trying to heal this collective conscious with our magic. Now, I'm not a kid anymore. I mean, I'm 44. I'm gray haired. I'm an old witch holding space for the kids. But my inner child has never grown up, and she's wild and crazy, and she's definitely on fire inside me. And you know what? She sometimes needs a little bit of discipline too. She can get a little crazy and out of control. But sometimes that's needed, especially in a revolution, to really push us into a new age. The kids with the passion. Now in the west, the sun sets, and at the end of the day, we crawl into bed with the 10 of Wands. Another 10. With the center being 10 of Swords and then 10 of Wands, they're both weapons. Whether you're using the wand or at that point I like to say the club, because clubs you can go grab in the forest and beat somebody on the head with a club. A sword is forged and made and prepared, and it's dignified and it cuts clean, whereas a club just bashes things in. Unless you want to think of this as a wand. Which in that case, I think of Harry Potter's wand and spinning it around. And I see the little sparks of fire shooting out of it, So at the end of the day, we are coming into this 10 with fire, with passion. That number 10 is that completion. That number that is past 9. I know that sounds silly, but it's that beyond emotion. 9 would be the pushing and 10 would be the, it's the completion. It could be the swing. This card is speaking of the Wheel of Fortune too. The 10 creating that circle, the fire creating that motion and that push and that swing, that Wheel of Fortune, that everything that comes around is going to go around. And she's wanting to speak, the Empress is wanting to speak again of you know, she might be in dire straits right now. I mean, the plastic epidemic, the roads, oh my God, the roads are being built and paved and widened, and they get bigger and they get bigger, and then more people come and they come, and the pollution, and oh, this gets heavy. With this card, at the end of the day, it's reminding me that it's all going to come around. It's all going to go around. I remember living without electricity, and I long for those days again, as much as I love YouTube and as much as I love my iPad. And my phone wanted to say something too. I love my devices. I love electricity. I love my Uranus. Okay? I do. But the world without electricity was so... She was the most powerful. Way more powerful than all of the power plants that you can put together. You know, without taking that power, oh gosh, and she wants me to talk about that. I've been researching NFTs and cryptocurrency. And it sounded like this an amazing idea. Oh my God, to get the currency out of the banks and more into the hands of us, and like community sharing and everything like this, blockchain and all of this stuff. Sounds amazing until I realized that when I did my research, they have to cut down enormous areas of forest or whatever was there before to have warehouses for all of these computers that are just running, pulling this electricity, getting back to the electricity, so much energy. And we have to think as sensitive kids, what could we do with this energy if it wasn't consumed by these power plants and put through all of these electrical cords, and these cords that I'm seeing in my room now, and the little light on my phone charger that's plugged up to the wall? What could we do with this energy if it was free? And not only just free to use, but I mean in the ether. Oh yeah, you're in the ether. She was in the ether. We can tap into this energy. How do you think Atlantis even functioned? Like, we like to watch the videos about Atlantis, and we know that, they were aliens, and the builders were there. But like, I've been thinking about, well, Uranus is a planet and he rules technology. So what was the world like before technology? Where was Uranus when we didn't have the iPad? She's the key. And of course, the kids with the passion, the sensitive kids that could pull this energy out of the ether, because there was so much of it everywhere around us, because it wasn't sucked up by power plants. We could consume it into our bodies. Dude, it's just real. There was so much power that we could do everything that we could do on our iPads through telepathy. I wanted to message you in Atlantis, if I wanted to reach somebody, talk to them, I would just sit and focus, tap into this ether, tap into this empress, and send them a message. If you could do it, you can do it. So, that concludes the card spread for today. So thank you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being interested in getting to know thyself, getting to know divination, and getting to know the world around us. And whether you're traveling physically or mentally, may it be in love and light. And never forget the lube. That'll really put you in a bind. So, ciao.